Hey YouTube, today we ran ourselves into some problems with the starting motor. We have an electric start 14 Polaris RMK 800 155, and the starter motor, when it was engaged, when you're engaging the engine to start this thing, the starter motor, which is right here, stayed engaged. Now the reason for that is because of this. This is the starter solenoid, and when I was starting the engine would continue to try and start while the engine was running. You could hear the starter motor still engaging. So I took a screwdriver and I tapped on this, just a couple of taps on it, and it just let go and it quit. So the contact inside of here is getting sticky, or probably due to high resistance, causing it to burn. And then once it's done that a few times, it's never the same. So what we got to do is replace that starter solenoid. So we're going to show you how to do that today. We're going to start by disconnecting the ground on the battery. So we'll do that first, and it's a 10 mil socket, and I'll just pause the video for that. So anyways, I got the 10 mil off, and just set the wires aside. And then we go to the solenoid, and I pull those red rubbers back. And then there's two 11 mil nuts that are on here, and two 10 mil down here to take off. Okay, so we'll just pause here again. Okay, now that I got those two off, or all four off actually, it actually disconnects from here, the one side of the connector, which is the other side. Now these two wires go onto the two little posts down here, here and here. And from what I understand, it does not make any difference which one goes to which pole. That's why they're not labeled or marked. And take these two off and set them aside. Once those nuts are off, now all we got left is two 10 mil nuts, one on either side right there and right here of the solenoid. So I'll just pause again here and I'll get those two off, and then the solenoid will be removed. You grab the new solenoid and just give me a second here. So this is the new solenoid. I got it from Rec Supply, and $32, and it comes with that end that you need to plug in to the existing one that's there. So all we got to do now is remount this into the same spot that the old one came out of, right there. So it'll go in here. Like so. So we got to put the two 10 mil nuts back on there to hold that on, and there's also a little thing that bolts on as well over top. It's kind of tricky to get to. Of course, it's on the wrong side there. There we go. Something attaches on the outside of that solenoid, on the outside stud here, so I'll just get it on, and then the nut goes on to secure that in place. Just like that. You can see it there. Now the nuts will go on, and then we'll secure these two and put these two back on and secure those, and these are all 10 mil on this solenoid. And then we plug the other end and back in, and that should be it. We put the ground back onto the battery, and we should be good to go. So just give me a second here. I'll put this back together and I'll show you the finished result. So anyways, here's the finished product. Exact reverse order of removal. The two 10 mils that hold the solenoid in place, and then there's two two 11 mils actually that go back on top here. This one actually came with 10s, but I like the locking nuts better and they fit, so I put the locking nuts back on. And then two 8 mils. It's just snug. Do not over tighten any of these. If you do, you'll crack the solenoid. And then it's just a matter of plugging this in and then also putting your ground strap back onto the battery, which is a 10 mil, and it's just exact reverse order of removal. And then it should work. So we'll try starting it here. Like and subscribe. This is Shell's Quick Fix. For another video, please like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Have a great evening.